You think helping people makes you good, makes you righteous, makes you human. But that belief is exactly what makes you predictable, exploitable, and ultimately disposable. Because the world you are walking through is not governed by kindness. It is governed by silent calculations, invisible hierarchies, and the cold arithmetic of advantage. The moment you extend your hand without discernment, without strategy, without a precise understanding of who stands in front of you, you are no longer acting out of strength. You are surrendering it, piece by piece. So listen carefully, because what follows is not comfort. It is not moral reassurance. It is a blade, and if you are wise, you will learn how to hold it instead of falling on it. There are 7 types of people that you must never help. Not because you lack compassion, but because they are built to consume it. The first is the perpetual victim, the one who wears suffering like a crown, who breathes in pity and exhales blame. They approach you not with a problem, but with an identity rooted in helplessness. You will feel the ancient instinct to rescue, to fix, to prove your worth through sacrifice. But understand this with absolute clarity. The victim does not want resolution. They want validation of their weakness. They need the story of their oppression to survive, and if you dare to remove it, they will turn on you. Because you are no longer their savior, you have become a threat to their narrative. Every ounce of energy you give them becomes fuel for a cycle that never ends. One day you will wake up and realize you have become a supporting character in a tragedy that was never meant to be solved, only prolonged. The second type is far more dangerous because they do not appear broken. They appear ambitious, charming even. The opportunist, who studies you while smiling, who listens not to understand, but to map your value. They calculate your usefulness with surgical precision. When you help them, open doors, share knowledge, offer support, they do not feel gratitude. They feel confirmation that you are a resource, something to be leveraged, something to be exhausted. And once your utility drops below a certain threshold, they will detach without hesitation. No explanation, no remorse, just absence. You will be left replaying every interaction, wondering where the warmth went, not realizing it was never warmth. It was strategy. The third type is the moral manipulator. They wrap their demands in the language of virtue. They use words like kindness, loyalty, and decency as weapons, subtle but sharp, pressing them against your conscience until you comply. Refusal now feels like guilt, like failure, like betrayal of your own identity. They know it. They rely on it. They build entire systems of control around your fear of being seen as selfish. The more you give, the more they redefine what is expected of you, stretching your limits until you no longer recognize where your boundaries once stood. And if you ever resist, they will not attack you directly. They will question your character, your values, your humanity. Suddenly, you are defending yourself instead of questioning them. And that is how they win. Not through force, but through distortion. The fourth type is the chronic taker. The one who never reciprocates, never initiates, never contributes unless it benefits them immediately. At first it seems small, a favor here, a little support there. But over time, you notice every interaction flows in one direction, toward them, like gravity pulling everything into a void. The moment you need something, even something minimal, they disappear, they hesitate, they deflect, because in their world, you exist only as an extension of their needs. If you continue to help them, you are not being generous. You are reinforcing a dynamic that slowly erases you until there is nothing left but resentment and exhaustion. The fifth type thrives on chaos. They bring disorder into every space they enter. They turn simple situations into complex dramas. They create problems faster than they can be solved. When you step in to help, to stabilize, to fix, you become entangled in their web of instability. Chaos is their environment, their comfort zone, their source of control. The more you try to impose order, the more they undermine it. You become their anchor, their fixer, while they remain the storm. Unpredictable, consuming, endless. The sixth type is the envious observer. They watch you closely, not with admiration, but with quiet resentment. They notice your strengths, your progress, your stability, and feel threatened by it. When you help them, when you lower your guard, when you share your methods and insights, they do not use it to grow alongside you. They use it to compete, to undermine, to diminish you, because your existence reminds them of what they are not. Instead of confronting that truth, they attempt to neutralize it. And you become the easiest target because you gave them access. You gave them information. You gave them proximity. In doing so, you removed the very barriers that once protected you. Finally, the seventh type, the one that feels the most harmless, the most familiar, the dependent soul, the one who leans on you for everything: decisions, direction, emotional stability, even identity. At first, it feels meaningful. It feels honorable to be needed so profoundly. But dependency is not connection. It is control, disguised as closeness. The more they rely on you, the less they develop themselves. The burden grows heavier until you are no longer supporting them. You are carrying them. And if you ever try to step back, they will panic. They will cling. They will accuse you of abandonment, because in their world, your presence is not a gift, it is a requirement. And requirements are enforced emotionally, psychologically, relentlessly. Helping is not inherently noble. It is only noble when chosen with awareness, with boundaries, and with clear understanding of consequence. Blind generosity is not virtue. It is vulnerability. In a world that rewards awareness and punishes naivety, you cannot afford to confuse the two. You must learn to see people not as they present themselves, but as patterns over time, behaviors repeated under pressure, intentions revealed through inconsistency. Once you see clearly, you will realize restraint is not cruelty. Distance is not indifference. Refusal is not failure. They are tools, necessary, precise, often the only way to preserve what truly matters. Because if you give yourself to everyone, you will belong to no one, least of all, yourself. In the end, the question is not whether you are capable of helping. Of course you are. The question is whether you are disciplined enough to choose who deserves it and strong enough to walk away from those who don't, even when every instinct tells you to stay. Because power is not in what you give. Power is in what you refuse to give. And once you understand that, truly understand it, you will never look at helping the same way again.